9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
One small step, one giant leap of faith, July 20th, 1969. A date etched in the minds of millions. Humanity held its breath as Neil Armstrong, clad in his bulky spacesuit, descended the ladder of the Eagle lunar module. His grainy image flickered across television screens worldwide. "That's one small step for man," he declared, his voice a tinny echo from 250,000 miles away. "One giant leap for mankind," or so the story goes. The world erupted in celebration. This was a triumph of human ingenuity, a testament to American exceptionalism. We had conquered the final frontier, planted our flag on the desolate lunar surface. But what if it was all a lie? Whispers in the shadows, doubting the moon landing. From the moment the grainy images of Armstrong's moonwalk were broadcast, whispers of doubt began to circulate. Conspiracy theories like vines in the shadows took root and grew. Could this incredible feat, this landmark achievement, be nothing more than an elaborate hoax, a carefully staged performance designed to deceive the world? These whispers, at first dismissed as the ramblings of cranks and cynics, gradually gained traction. Fueled by inconsistencies in the official narrative, these doubts have festered over the decades, evolving into a full-blown conspiracy theory that refuses to die. What if the greatest triumph of human exploration was, in reality, the greatest deception in human history? The Cold War space race pressure cooker of deception? To understand the alleged moon landing hoax, we must travel back to the heart of the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union, locked in an ideological struggle for global dominance, were engaged in a fierce space race. Each superpower was desperate to prove its technological superiority. The Soviets had struck the first blow, launching Sputnik, the first artificial satellite, into orbit in 1957. This was followed by Yuri Gagarin's historic flight, becoming the first human to orbit the Earth. America was losing the space race, and the pressure to catch up was immense. Room Zero, where the moon landing was abandoned. Deep within the bowels of NASA headquarters, a clandestine meeting took place. In a room shrouded in secrecy, known only as Room Zero, a group of high-ranking officials made a fateful decision. The moon landing, deemed too risky and expensive, would be abandoned. But the world could never know. The Cold War raged on, and defeat was not an option. Instead, a daring and audacious plan was hatched to fake the moon landing. This elaborate charade would solidify America's position as the world's technological leader, striking a decisive blow in the propaganda war against the Soviets. Constructing the lunar landscape. Lights, camera, no action. The creation of this elaborate set was no small feat. It required the collaboration of some of the most talented set designers, engineers, and special effects artists in the industry. Their mission: to create a convincing replica of the moon's surface that could withstand the scrutiny of both the naked eye and the camera lens. A top-secret film set was constructed, a soundstage designed to mimic the lunar surface. This was not just any film set, it was a highly classified project, shrouded in secrecy. The location was chosen for its remoteness, ensuring that no prying eyes could catch a glimpse of the monumental deception being orchestrated. Massive backdrops depicted a desolate moonscape, complete with craters, dust, and a pitch-black sky studded with strategically placed stars. These backdrops were painstakingly painted to create an illusion of depth and realism, making it nearly impossible to distinguish the set from the actual lunar surface. Every detail, meticulously crafted, was designed to withstand the scrutiny of television cameras. The lighting had to be perfect, mimicking the harsh, unfiltered sunlight of the moon. The shadows had to fall just right, and the texture of the ground had to look convincingly like lunar dust. This was to be the stage for the greatest performance ever undertaken, a carefully choreographed spectacle that would fool the world. The actors, dressed in meticulously designed spacesuits, rehearsed their movements over and over, ensuring that every step, every gesture, was perfect. The actors, astronauts chosen for their ability to maintain the charade, underwent rigorous training, learning to move convincingly under the simulated low gravity of the moon. They practiced for hours on end, perfecting the slow, deliberate movements that would sell the illusion of being on the moon. This was to be their finest hour, but also their heaviest burden, a secret they would carry to their graves. The weight of the deception was immense, and the responsibility of maintaining the illusion rested heavily on their shoulders. They knew that the success of the mission depended on their ability to convince the world that they had truly walked on the moon. Faking the footage. From fuzzy pictures to giant leaps. Creating convincing footage was crucial to the hoax's success. NASA, with the help of Hollywood special effects experts, employed cutting-edge techniques to simulate the lunar environment. The astronauts' movements were slowed down to mimic the moon's lower gravity, while wires and harnesses allowed them to perform impossible leaps and bounds. The iconic images beamed back to Earth, those grainy black and white photographs, weren't the result of primitive camera technology, but rather a deliberate ploy to mask the imperfections of the set and the special effects. The world marveled at these images, unaware that they were witnessing not a triumph of human exploration, but a triumph of cinematic illusion. Seeds of doubt. The skeptics emerge. In the wake of the moon landing, a new wave of skepticism began to rise. People started to question the authenticity of what was once considered an undeniable achievement. Despite the meticulous planning and the seemingly flawless execution, cracks in the facade began to appear. The skeptics scrutinized every detail, looking for inconsistencies and anomalies that could disprove the official story. Skeptics, armed with magnifying glasses and a healthy dose of skepticism, began to pick apart the official narrative. They delved into libraries, pored over documents, and engaged in heated discussions, determined to uncover the truth. The absence of stars in the photographs, a detail that seemed minor to some, became a focal point for the skeptics. They argued that in the vacuum of space, stars should be visible, and their absence was suspicious. The strange behavior of the American flag in the lunar windless environment, appearing to wave as if caught in a breeze, further fueled their doubts. How could a flag wave without wind? The lack of a blast crater beneath the lunar module, a detail that seemed to defy the laws of physics, was another point of contention. Skeptics argued that the powerful engines should have left a significant mark on the lunar surface. These inconsistencies fueled the growing chorus of doubt. The more they examined, the more questions arose, and the more the official story seemed to unravel. The more questions they asked, the more elusive the truth seemed to become. Each answer led to more questions, and the cycle of doubt continued to grow. The more elusive the truth seemed to become, the skeptics found themselves in a labyrinth of uncertainty, where every piece of evidence seemed to contradict the last. The official explanations, once accepted without question, now rang hollow. The confident statements of officials no longer satisfied the growing number of those who refused to be silenced. The skeptics' voices grew louder, their questions more pointed, and their determination unyielding. The seeds of doubt, sown in the fertile ground of skepticism, had taken root. What began as a whisper of uncertainty had grown into a full-blown movement, challenging the very foundations of the moon landing narrative. The Truth Seeker, a journalist's quest. Enter Sarah Evans, a tenacious investigative journalist known for her relentless pursuit of the truth. Driven by an unwavering belief that something wasn't right, she embarked on a perilous quest to uncover the truth behind the moon landing. Her investigation led her down a rabbit hole of classified documents, anonymous sources, and whispered conversations in shadowy corners. Sarah's relentless pursuit of the truth came at a cost. She faced threats, intimidation, attempts to discredit her work, but she refused to be silenced. She knew the truth was out there, buried beneath layers of deceit and misinformation, and she would stop at nothing to expose it. A truth too big to tell. The moon landing hoax endures. For decades, the moon landing has been a subject of awe and inspiration, a monumental achievement in human history. Yet beneath the surface of this celebrated event lies a persistent and controversial theory that refuses to fade away. Sarah's investigation culminated in a bombshell expose, a meticulously researched article that laid bare the truth behind the moon landing hoax. She spent countless hours poring over documents, interviewing experts, and piecing together a narrative that many found hard to believe. The world, she revealed, had been fed a lie, a carefully constructed narrative designed to maintain American dominance on the world stage. The moon landing, she argued, was a masterstroke of propaganda, a way to showcase technological superiority during the Cold War. But the truth, as they say, has a way of coming out. Sarah's article was not just a piece of investigative journalism, It was a call to question everything we thought we knew about one of the most iconic moments in history. Her revelation sent shockwaves across the globe. People from all walks of life began to question the official story, and debates erupted in homes, offices, and public spaces. Governments denied, officials clamored to discredit her, but the damage was done. The more they tried to suppress the story, the more people became curious and skeptical. The seed of doubt, once planted, had blossomed into full-blown skepticism. People began to dig deeper, uncovering inconsistencies and questioning the authenticity of the moon landing footage. The official narrative lay in tatters, but the truth, it seemed, was simply too big, too inconvenient, to be fully accepted. The idea that such a grand deception could be orchestrated was both fascinating and terrifying. The moon landing hoax, despite being exposed, would continue to endure, a testament to the power of deception and the enduring allure of a good conspiracy theory. It serves as a reminder that, in the age of information, the line between fact and fiction can often become blurred, leaving us to wonder what other truths might be hidden in plain sight.